patinage, Grand Prix de France, Angers.
ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating, Grand Prix de France.
Mesdames, Messieurs, dans quelques instants, vous allez assister au programme rythme danse de la catégorie danse sur glace.
In just a few moments, we'll start with the ice dance, the rhythm dance.
Nous vous rappelons que l'usage des flashs et des vidéos est interdit durant la compétition car dangereux pour les patineurs. Et vous rappelons que les fleurs et cadeaux que vous offrez aux patineurs doivent être emballés. Merci.
We remind you that flash photography, as well as video recording and filming, is forbidden. Gifts and flowers offered to the skaters at the end of the performance must be completely wrapped. And we thank you very much for your cooperation.
Mesdames, Messieurs, présentation des officiels représentant l'Union internationale de patinage et du jury de cette compétition.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce the officials for this event.
Le panel des juges.
The panel of judges.
Le juge arbitre ISU.
Representing the International Skating Union, please welcome the referee of the event, Ms. Jody Abbott.
Juge numéro 1.
Judge number 1, Ms. Patty Klein, Canada.
Juge numéro 2.
Judge number 2, Ms. Marta Olozaga, Spain.
Juge numéro 3.
Judge number 3 is Albert Saadi, Monaco.
Juge numéro 4.
Judge number 4, Ms. Shi Ri, Republic of Korea.
Juge numéro 5.
Judge number 5, Mr. Ronald Beau, France.
Juge numéro 6.
Judge number 6, Ms. Rosella.
Numéro 8.
Judge number 8, Mr. Gillard Tot, Hungary.
Welcome to Angers for the third stop on the International Skating Union's Grand Prix series. I'm Mark Henretti, and I'm looking forward to taking you through the next 3 events on this first day of competition in Angers at the Ice Park, an incredible facility that was opened 4 years ago at the cost of 38 million euros. It will be the host to the ice dancers. On your screen now in the starting order for this rhythm dance. Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, the final team to compete, are the reigning champions from the Grand Prix de France. The judges seem to be the technical panel who will decide the elements in the rhythm dance for this 1980s rhythm dance year. The theme selected for the rhythm dance for both juniors and seniors this season is the music and the feeling of the 1980s. And the skaters can pick any music, provided that it was originally released in the decade of the 1980s. The only caveat for them being able to pick any music from the 80s is that for the rhythm dance choreographic rhythm sequence, they have to have music that fits the tempo of 100 beats per minute minimum. And that's something that has confused some skating fans around the world. This choreographic rhythm sequence, skaters must use steps 9 to 47 from the Silver Samba, which is a compulsory or pattern dance that ice dancers have used for decades. What's made that more interesting is that the teams have to skate steps 9 to 47, but it can be the man steps or the women steps. Not necessarily at the same time. They can deviate on the timing that was originally subscribed or assigned to the Silver Samba, so they can hold and sustain some steps longer or shorter than was previously the case. So it takes a real ice dance expert, somebody who has known the sport and the silver samba in particular to be able to pinpoint that particular element. And unlike the lift or the step sequence or the twizzles, the choreographic rhythm sequence, it's a fixed base value, no level assigned to that. It will be much more a reflection of the grade of execution, which decides the points for that one element, one of 5 elements in the senior rhythm dance. And last week we saw Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier convincingly win Skate Canada in Vancouver, British Columbia. And just before that, it was Madison Schock and Evan Bates. As there we see Olivia Smart and Tim Deek, a new pairing. They have been assigned to the Senior Grand Prix thanks to the success that they had with their previous partners. Olivia with Adriana Diaz and Tim with Katharina Muller, both competed at the Beijing Winter Olympics. Not together, now they are united as a team. What a whirlwind it has been for them. And they and 4 other teams will be introduced to the arena.
Représentant l'Espagne.
From Spain, Olivia Smart and Tim Deek.
Représentant la France.
From France, Natasha Lagouche, Arnaud Caffa.
Représentant la France.
From France, Marie Dupayage and Thomas Labbé.
Représentant les États-Unis d'Amérique.
From the United States of America, Laurel McNamara and Anton Spiridonov.
Représentant la Corée du Sud.
From the Republic of Korea, Anna Lee Kwon.
5 minutes d'échauffement.
Skaters, you have a 5-minute warm-up.
The 5-minute warm-up for the 5 elements in the senior rhythm dance. And as you can see there, 2 French teams competing in this first group. It will be Olivia Smart and Tim Deek who open the rhythm dance. They were assigned to this event quite late, competed in Skate America, but as mentioned, they're a new partnership. And although they'd committed to one another almost a year ago, they haven't really been able to train together until much more recently, just 6 months. But already, thanks to their brilliant characters and ability to express, they have impressed many.
They're trained in Montreal, Canada, with Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon. From Spain,
Had
Olivia Smart
a busy season already. The Autumn Classic in Montreal, Finlandia Trophy in Finland, Skate America a fortnight ago, and now Angers in France. And now to a team who have been together for 4.5 years, Natasha Lagouge and Arnaud Caffa. Said that they're always trying to bring their own style, and they love dancing and try to show the audience who they really are. Great respect for that. I'm sure they want the judges to love what they're doing, but sticking to their own principles, and I think is hugely admirable.
From France, Natasha Lagouge and Arnaud Caffa.
And as is always the case, the warm-up so close to so many other teams. As we look now to the second of 3 French teams, Marie Dupayage and Thomas Nabai, the winners of the World University Games earlier this year in Lake Placid, upstate New York. Great to hear the ground announcer relishing the fact that they can introduce a French team.
And most recently, first at the World University Games in Lake Placid, New York, and second at the Venezuela Cup in Montana. From France, Marie Dupayage and Thomas Nabai.
Guaranteed to have some really entertaining choreography as all the teams from Villard-de-Lans boast.
Lorraine et Anton
And
patinent
now
ensemble
to
de
Lorraine
seul
McNamara and Anton Spiridonov.
avec Alexei Kidiakov et Elena Novak. Ils ont terminé
The
deuxième
purple jacket
au
of
championnat
Anton.
du monde universitaire 2023.
Confirmation they will be skating to
Représentant
music
les
by
États-Unis
Prince.
d'Amérique, Lorraine McNamara,
And coach
Anton Spiridonov.
Elena Novak explained that Anton in particular just loves that music. It's his choice, and they've got a fascinating concept behind their free dance, which we can look forward to tomorrow. And they say that they feel like a completely different team than just even a few weeks ago. They said they cannot wait to share their energy and passion with the skating audience. And talking of energy and passion, Hannah Lim and Ye Kwan, the World Junior silver medalists, their first team from Korea as ice dancers to win an ISU Grand Prix medal at senior or junior. And although they finished just 9th at Skate America of the 10 teams, since they really garnered some traction and following and respect from skating fans who rate this up-and-coming team. I had the good fortune of seeing them skate live in Courchevel in the Junior Grand Prix last year, and the expression and energy to the performance was still something I'm talking about over a year later.
They train in Montreal, Canada, with Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon. From the Republic of Korea, Anna Lim and Ye Kwan.
And Hannah and Ye share the same coaches as Olivia and Tim. Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon, amongst many others, at the Ice Academy of Montreal, responsible for, I think, 6 of the 10 teams competing here in that standard procedure now at a senior international ice dance event that so many of the teams will hail from the Ice Academy of Montreal. Marie-France and Patrice Lauzon, that husband and wife team who were world silver medalists themselves.
Mesdames, Messieurs, l'échauffement est terminé. Veuillez quitter la piste, s'il vous plaît.
They just do an incredible job of finding different themes for the teams.
Thank you.
And we will be treated to a selection of very varying musics from the 1980s. The first of which will be music by Blondie with Olivia Smart, totally embracing the concept for this, their rhythm dance. No points given for hair and costume stylization, but perfectly on point. Sixth in Skate America 2 weeks ago. They've been so busy, struggled a little with illness since that event, but relishing the chance to compete and gain more competitive experience as a new team. Olivia Smart and Tim Deek. The pattern dance type step sequence, 2 difficult turns to be performed by each partner. And the back rocker for Olivia. Choreographic rhythm sequence. Your ice dancers will spot the silver samba steps. That was a great way to showcase some originality within it. Olivier Smart and Tim Deek start the rhythm dance event at the Grand Prix de France. And just this team has been through so much lately, making the bold, brave decision to form this new partnership, having both had success with previous partners. And some responsibility on their shoulders then to live up to the hype. And interestingly, both, I think, of this team were the most dynamic of their previous partnerships, certainly in terms of their presentation. And you wonder how that would mix when pushed together, but they seem to have already found a really great rhythm and responsibility between the presentation for both. And it's exciting to see how this will develop over the quadrennial.
Thank you.
Good girl, says Marie-France Debreu, as we see the slow motion to confirm what I said about their presentation potential and prowess. As I said, they didn't necessarily know they were going to be competing in France. And it's been a real whirlwind for the team this season. Olivia busy involved with the UK television show Dancing on Ice till March and didn't get to start the preparation for this season and even gelling together as a team until after that. What a good job they've done. What great work to find this blondie theme for the team. You see the choreo rhythm sequence just dropping at the free leg. Let up Olivia, just not the creative execution that is optimal for the team. And every passing week, their improvement rate likely to be exponential. If they've only been together for a few short months, it's likely that their components will just develop and develop and develop at a much more exponential rate perhaps than some others, as we see the start of their midline step. And just level one for Tim, maybe that back inside counter with the scratch not being called.
Did you have more fun than Skate America? Was it a bit more losing your
Yeah, fast, super fast.
Yeah.
Both skaters acknowledging how fast it went by. Marie-France just wondering if it was more fun than even Skate America. And there you can see from the fans already, Smart and Deek, the name stitched into the toys presented to them. So perhaps a little disappointed to find it 2.5 points short of Skate America, but we await the rest of the event to see how Olivia and Tim will fare in the standings, having been the first to compete. And now the first of 3 teams representing the host nation. 23-year-old Natasha Lagouge and 25-year-old Arnaud Cafat. Coached by Maurizio Margalio and Neil Brown. Choreography by former world champion Luca Lanotti. Getting the twizzles out of the way early. Natasha and Arno working through the choreo rhythm sequence. I think of the silver samba pattern that we're used to seeing in the dance itself. Natasha Lagouge and Arnaud Caffa from France, skating to the music by Bon Jovi. The new sense, really relishing the chance to compete at the Grand Prix de France in front of a home crowd. They competed at the Grand Prix Espo last year, which is in the nation that they train now with Maurizio Margalio and Neil Brown. And now in front of some patriotic, proud French flags. And the couple said they described their partnership as like Route 66, a long and beautiful journey. They said they've been working on the power of their connection since day one in order to build the partnership with the work that they want. They want to be recognized for that. Total admiration and respect for them choosing their own path, not necessarily feeling that they must follow a conventional route in ice dance. See the right forward outside twizzle. A smile on Natasha's face to get through that. She's just getting a level 3, level 4 for Arnaud. That's the non-touch medaling step. Like Tim Deep before them, just level 1 assigned to both, so not the number of cleanly performed difficult turns that they're hoping for. The technical panel here may be stricter than Skate America, Skate Canada. It remains to be seen as we see more of the competitors. Really, teams looking for the maximum level 4. Look at that connection between them there. Some of the steps from the Silver Samba, that obviously not from the original compulsory or pattern dance, as Neil Brown, their coach, cheers them on ringside. That choreo rhythm sequence with the samba steps, couples can have loops and one permitted retrogression to ice dance technical committee really trying to offer the skaters some scope for variation in the way in which they construct that element. So it was a 63.95 season's best for the team from the Budapest Trophy. And the first team couldn't get a season's best. Will Natasha and Arnaud. No, they too dropped a little short, quite a way short of their season's best. Again, all dependent upon how it compares to the other teams as to whether or not the tech panel or the judges have been stricter in terms of the components, grades of execution, and levels assigned on the 5 elements. As we go from one French team to another, with the flags out to be waved again. Biscuit can be put down to cheer for Marie Dupaillage and Thomas Nabai, the winners of the World University Games. Such strength in the stationary lift. Midline step, technical panel really scrutinizing the quality of the difficult turns. The outside closed mohawk. And a double swizzle. Should I stay or should I go? Marie Dupaillage and Thomas Nabai. The team that finished 9th of the 10 couples last year at the Grand Prix de France in Angers. Looking to move up. Since that event 12 months ago, they've gone on not just to win the World University Games, but also to compete and represent their nation at the World Championships. And they said that the experience of Worlds in Saitama was just incredible. Marie saying it was an incredible experience that she will remember all her life. And now, as they move towards this next season, looking to garner more of those types of experiences as they are joined by Karine Aribert ringside, a coach who I've so enjoyed the work of on the junior ranks. She and the team with Mahira Chantaldaus have been producing some great choreographic work, as well as we see the Twizzles. That the leg feature was a little tight on the opening element. Just a little out of synchronicity, so not getting as many positive features for creative execution as they would perhaps have had in training, as we see some of the steps from the silver samba and exploiting the opportunity to be creative within that and showcasing their great range of strength and flexibility. A difficult entry into the stationary lift. And this, both students in Grenoble are studying science and psychology in between their training of elite competitive skating. And so their personal best is also their season's best, so continuing on an upward trajectory with the rhythm dance scores from the Finlandia Trophy, where they reached over 70.9 points. That would put them into the lead, and that would be quite a coup for them above Smart and Deke. But we'll get a gauge for perhaps how the tech panel compares here, and the judges, if their score, like those of the two teams who have already competed, is lower than their season's best.
D'habitude, t'es super loin. Parce que on m'embête chaque fois.
The score speaks.
Marie et Thomas ont obtenu un total de 68 points.
Très très beau, says Karine Aribert. So despite it not being a season's best, they seem very satisfied with a 68.2. Good camaraderie in the kiss and cry. As we see the stars and stripes being waved for the next team. Lorraine McNamara, former junior world champion with their previous partner, and Anton Spironov. They explained that their goal is to bring the audience in and to have them feel as much joy as they feel when they skate. Skating's music by Prince.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life, it means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else.
Just a bobble there for Lorraine within the Twizzles. It's the path dance type step element. All the teams so far just a level 2, so only 2 turns called. That step there by Anton. boost the level higher, the outside mohawk. Great finish. Just a little tight on the rotational lift as well, so maybe not this gate that Lorraine and Anton were ideally hoping for. Perhaps that just a result of the pressure they feel from the 8th place finish they had at Nebelhorn Trophy in Oberstdorf on the Challenger Series. And as we've seen in Texas and Vancouver in the first 2 stops on the Grand Prix this year, the standard of American teams is just off the scale. So many incredible teams in the senior ice dance ranks coming from the United States of America, and so making the world team, which will be a goal for so many, is filled with pressure and expectation. And as they are greeted by coach Elena off the ice, it just remains to be seen whether or not the tech panel here will make the scores incompatible with those of others that we've seen. And it looks like just a level 1 for the midline step and a level 1 for the pattern dance type step for Lorraine and Anton here. So the tech score is going to be lower. But there's no doubt this is a team of great quality. Yeah, there, cheers from Rickside. Gorgeous smile there from Lorraine within the transition that led into the twizzles. She just had that little wobble which dropped a level as well. And this slow-mo shot is just brilliant to see the dancers relishing the 1980s rhythm. Near the outside closed mohawk. So although that looks a statutory step, should that be deemed sufficiently deep and clear on the edges, then the technical panel can use that to bump the level higher as we see them step into left forward inside bracket. Now, just I feel for the team when I consider what the implications of those levels will be. But the component score is good in the mid 7s composition of the program, coming in 7.64. Last week, the 3 American teams competing in Vancouver were all so close together, between 72 and 73.9. So it was a really close fought event between 3 American ice dance teams last week. Lorraine and Anton went to be in that mix, but the 72 to 73 range looks a little elusive based on the levels assigned to them here, and it's just a 64.77. Given that they had a 73 last year, that makes sense of why they're containing their emotions. Wish them all the very best for the free dance, which, as I say, really interesting and fantastic concept that they have behind the free dance that they'll show us tomorrow.
Sur la glace, représentant la Corée du Sud.
Next to skate from the Republic of Korea, Hana Lee Kwon.
And now to the team that were second in Canada at the Junior World Championships earlier this year. Their first year on the Senior Grand Prix, and this their second event of the series. Hannah Lim and Ye Kwan, another performance to the music by Prince. Good chocolate, good twizzle, good rocker as well. The depth of the edge is looking strong in the midline step sequence. Right inside bracket. One of the most difficult turns to be called clean just to finish that element. Their first season as seniors on the Senior Grand Prix circuit, and Hannah Lim and Yi Kwan delivering again with such sharpness and conviction to their movement. And you can sense well-trained, not looking remotely out of breath at the end of what will have been an exhausting performance. And see the conviction that they make to their movement, bound to be tiring. Well-trained in preparation for this, their second event on the Grand Prix. And actually, Yi had said that they're doing their best to manage themselves in a different way since this is their first senior season. They've acknowledged how grateful they are to have been selected for 2 Grand Prix and Challenger Series events, but that brings challenges, and managing their training schedule to be able to peak appropriately in time for each of these big prestigious events is something that they appear to have done very well, despite the fact that it's new to them. Marie-France Debreu, as ever, oozing positivity, saying that was good. Back inside twizzle. And then right back outside for the Group C feature, the third twizzle. See energy right to the fingertips, the ice dancers so committed to even the shakes of the head. Even that in itself, the knee spin as he jumps, the complexity of the choreography, the proximity of the feet within that Ina bar transition. And although the teams competing so far will be less than overjoyed with their scores, everybody's skating well, and these slow motions really show how challenging it is. Look at the way in which she creeps her hand up his arm, every aspect considered. And the teams from the Ice Academy in Montreal have access to a host of different influences, off-ice teachers, ballroom choreographers, and the layering within, as you can see the way in which Hannah extends her fingers to make the hold to facilitate the exit, even that delivered with such sincerity to push the scores. So their season's best comes in at 68.05. Will they be the first of the teams to achieve a season's best at the Grand Prix de France? Level 3 for Hannah on the midline steps. That's the highest level assigned to step sequence so far, but like the others, still short of season's best, but 67.14. And I think if my France de Bru is happy, then you are too. So the team that opened proceedings, Olivia Smart and Tim Deek, lead the field after the first group. And as the lights are dimmed in the arena, we can look forward to the final group.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the skaters.
With the title winners from last season being the final couple to step onto the ice, Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabry.
Représentant le Canada.
From Canada, Marie-Jade Loriot and Romain Legac.
Représentant la France.
From France, Yelena Lopareva, Geoffrey Brissot.
Représentant les États-Unis d'Amérique.
From the United States of America, Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko.
Représentant le Canada.
From Canada, Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nicolas Sorensen.
Représentant l'Italie.
From Italy, Sharon Guignard and Marco Fabry.
5 minutes d'échauffement.
Skaters, you have a 5-minute warm-up.
And there, the starting lineup for this final group, Group 2 in the ice dance competition at the Grand Prix de France. In the Angers Ice Park, Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabry will be the final team to compete. Winners last year. And I think they'll be eyeing not just a win on this third stop of 6 events in the Grand Prix series, but also scores to be competitive with the North Americans who have competed at Skate America and Skate Canada. As we look to Marie-Jade Loriot and her husband Romain Legac. Another team from the Ice Academy in Montreal. They've been married for nearly 8 years now.
Marie-Jade and Romain trained in Montreal with Patrice Lauzon and Marie-France Dubreuil. They placed
Previously actually represented France in competition.
And recently second at the Budapest
Representing the
Trophy
nation from which they train in Montreal.
Marie-Jade Loriot and Romain Legac.
Interesting concept behind their rhythm dance, which we can look forward to start the final group as we look to the third and final team competing for the host nation in the dance event. Eugenia Lopareva and Geoffrey Brissot, bronze medalists last year at the Grand Prix de France. And they too, an interesting concept behind their rhythm dance. Fabulous skaters. The mastery of the blade from this team, so impressive. As too is the conviction to the movement. Struggles to take my eyes off of Eugenia. Such a dynamic skater. And that expression built on, as I say, such confidence of blade work. As we look to Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko, this their 10th season together and their 3rd season with the Ice Academy in Montreal. They training out of a different branch of the Ice Academy in Montreal, working in London, Ontario with Scott Moyer, Madison Hubble and Adrien Diaz. They're so happy to have had an off-season where they weren't interrupted with injury, illness or COVID, feeling much better coming into this season without all the interruptions that have plagued them in previous years. Taking his shades off, Nicolas Sorensen with his partner Laurence Fournier-Baudry. And they taking a 1980s classic theme, the Top Gun theme, and really rolling with it. So even taking to the ice for the introduction to the arena with the shades, just cementing the concept and the composition of the rhythm dance. No stone left unturned in their desperation, well, maybe not desperation, but their aspiration to push their components higher into the 9s towards the 10s. They're going to be competitive for a world medal. In order to do that, though, the Canadians would have to oust Charles Guinard and Marco Fabri, having been the world silver medalists in Saitama, Japan, the new European champions. And at 34 and 35 years of age, respectively, I, for one, and many others, grateful that they have returned to competition again. We are benefiting from the quality that they have developed over 10 years of collaboration between them and the coach. As we see Patrice Lazon, the International Skating Union's Coach of the Year. He won the Coach of the Year award at the ISU Awards. And as I said earlier, the International Skating Union Awards will be taking place again in early 2024, February the 11th, I believe, in Zurich, Switzerland. And that's an opportunity for skating fans to vote again on the names that have stood out most over the last year in skating, as we see that fabulously difficult transition within the choreo rhythm sequence, the element for seniors within this 1980s rhythm dance. Well, it's really interesting to see how the teams have embraced the criteria given by the ice dance technical committee for that choreo rhythm sequence with the silver samba steps, and that transition from Charlene and Marco making theirs incredibly difficult. Marie-Jade Loriot, Romain Lagac, Romain's family have come to Angers to support them here at the Grand Prix de France. As we see somebody else hopefully ready to support them as well. And the Maple Leaf flag cheering them on. You're going to skate to music by NXS. Nice back inside rocker, really clean turn there from Romain. their choreographic rhythm sequence. Use of the back outside death spiral for the pairs discipline within it. I just love the difficult exit from their rotational lift. Marie-Jade Loriot and Romain Legac representing Canada. The husband and wife team conclude their rhythm dance. And they explained to me that their choreography is showcasing the devil, impersonated by a lady in red, who came to Earth to have fun and met a human who dared to play with the devil. And again, confirmation of the amazing work behind these teams and creating concepts unique to each and every one of them. And indeed, their free dance concept, what other idea behind that? Having fun with playing the roles of different characters. Steely determination as we see the Olympic rings on the necklace of Marie-Jade from their participation in the 2018 Pyeongchang Games. Not the same run of the blade, not as much flow and glide as that which we have seen perhaps from some others, but seasoned, experienced, and together. Romain works part-time as an osteopath to fund their training. Amazing to hear the stories of the athletes who work so hard, not just to produce the quality of the work that we are seeing now on the ice, but to fund that work as well. Yes, a trademark lift of theirs, playing with different variations. Previously it's been a stationary lift, this time using it as a rotational lift. And it was the exit of this which was worth a repeat to review. Exploiting an athleticism and comfort that they have between them, having been together as a skating partnership and husband and wife for so long now. 71.92 from Budapest Trophy. Will it follow suit in not achieving a season's best? But still, although not a season's best, the first couple to go above the 70-point marker. And we have new leaders.
Sur la glace, représentant la France.
Next to skate from France, Viviana Lopareva and Geoffrey Rousseau.
And now a rise in the vocal support for the French team. Eugenia Lopareva and Geoffrey Brissot, choosing Marlene Farmer, who allows them to send a strong message that everyone can be who they want to be, without counterfeit. Easily the best twizzles that we've seen so far. Lots of ice coverage. outside edges for the rockers and counters. It's more difficult to be called cleanly. Eugenia Lopareva and Jeffrey Brissot share a hug at the end of their rhythm dance. And I asked the team about if there's anything they wanted us to share regarding the concepts. They're really passionately keen to express that they chose this Mylène Farmer music to send a strong message. The music, son contrefaçon, the idea that everyone can be who they want to be without counterfeiting. Son contrefaçon, girl or boy, don't hide, be whoever you want. And I just love the fact that the ice dancers are relishing the chance to take what the Ice Dance Technical Committee have given them in choosing any music from the 1980s to find something on occasion unique to themselves, as we see some of the youngest members of the audience looking like they enjoyed it. Coach Roxane Petitin, who's been working with them for a long time, greets them off the ice. And also the collaboration they've had with Guillaume Cizeron, the Olympic champion. I think for a couple of years now they've worked with him on the choreography, as we see the opening twizzles, which, as I mentioned, covered lots of ice. Level 4 assigned to the team, but that fairly expected. What wasn't expected, or what they fought for, is the big creative execution boost that element was given on top because of the quality. You can just see some plasters on the knees for Evgenia. I'm sure her knees are taking a battering, and the choice of knee slide within the choreography there. And the team, although they've embraced the idea of a unique composition and storytelling, as I said in War, it's based upon such fundamental good quality of blade awareness and body awareness too. Look at this storytelling. As I said before, that judges' composition component is based on the intentional, developed, or original arrangement of the repertoire of all types of movement. That's for the composition. And the presentation is the demonstration of engagement, commitment, and involvement. And the slow-mo there showed that she's absolutely committed and engaged. And even though she had plasters, it looks covering her knees. It looks like Evgenia's still drawn blood for her craft. 77 at Skate America 2 weeks ago. 76 here, but closer. They're just a quarter of a point behind their season's best. That much closer than all the others in relation to their season's best, with Lopareva and Brissot leading the field comfortably.
Sur la glace, représentant les États-Unis d'Amérique.
Next to skate from the United States of America.
So from the team who were 12th at last year's World Championships to the team who were in 10th place, Cristina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko in their 10th season together. Amazing to name those stats of their partnership given the ages of 23 and 22. They skate to the music Whole Lot of Trouble and Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. Great pattern dance type step to open the rhythm dance for the Americans. Great musical segue for the Twizzles. Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko benefiting from the strongest off-season training that they've had in multiple seasons. Last year dogged a little bit by surgery that Anthony had to endure. But this year, a clean bill of health without interruption. And they've expressed how happy they are with the progress and indeed the training environment that they're now working under. Relocating to London, Ontario, and you could just about hear in the back of shot the encouragement from the coaches that they work with there. I think I heard Madison Hubble supporting them towards that curve lift. There she is, greeting them off the ice. She recently married to Adrian Diaz, another member of the coaching staff for Christina and Anthony. They were 10th at Worlds behind, ahead of Loprieva and Briso, who lead the field at this stage. From memory, Loprieva and Briso struggled at Worlds with some mistakes made, so it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against them here in France. Just ever so slightly out of sync. But I love the composition of the music for the Twizzles. Just, again, the slow-mo showcase, maybe not the greatest of unison they would have ideally wanted. And it will be nitpicking that will be necessary for them to be competing against the French that lead so far. Great multi-dimensional use of body movement. pushing all those components. This, the curved lift, one that they've used, remember it from last year's free dance. Such abdominal muscle strength from both, particularly from Christina. In the off-season, the opportunity to play with new features. You've got a lift as strong as that, you're going to want to use it because it is forcing judges to go high on the grade of execution. So they were second at Finlandia Trophy with a 74.15.
Christina et Anthony ont obtenu un total de 72 points.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record, they're not making a season's best either, but not too adrift. 72.94. And Christina and Anthony look satisfied to be in second place. And they're the
Sur la glace,
unsung star of the audience.
Next to skate will be Canada.
Well, that's the kind of sass that ice dancers often possess. To Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen. They competed at the Finlandia Trophy. They had mistakes in the rhythm dance there, looking for a clean skate to, unsurprisingly, the Top Gun theme for their rhythm dance.
It takes a lot more than just fancy flying. I am dangerous. Oh, figures.
Another team using one of their trademark lifts. Maximum grade of execution for that opening element. Every musical beat accentuated and punctuated with the choreography. What a brilliant mandatory stop before the pattern dance type step. Well, that was quite brilliant. Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen. Kind of under a false illusion coming into this event about how this rhythm dance would go because of the mistakes that they made in Finlandia Trophy. I remember being amazed to see the results and seeing them in 7th place at that event, but that was courtesy of a fall that took place in the Twizzles. Here now, showcasing it in a clean skate, this really now, I think, sends a signal out to some of those that were above them at the World Championships that they definitely want to be considered for a World Championship medal. You wonder if they put dibs on the Top Gun theme early on in Ice Academy Montreal. It's such a wonderful vehicle for the team. They have embraced it brilliantly, and there wasn't one beat that didn't seem to be punctuated within the musicality and the construction of the composition of this program. Choreo rhythm sequence, also one of the most intricate that we've seen. And as with Carrera and Ponomarenko, something that we've seen from the team before, but when it comes to the positive features, it's very hard for the judges, I think, not to go +4 at least on the grade of execution for their straight line lift. They'll be relieved, I think, to get through the Twizzles after the mistakes. Finlandia really allowing themselves to relax a little bit beyond that element. Chance to review it again on the slow-mo. Ever so slightly different hand movement. The refinement will continue to be scrutinized by the incredible coaches that they have as the season progresses. But what a gorgeous look between them. And they have to have a stop or a skitty movement before the pattern dance type step element, and that just there was a wonderfully difficult way in which to do that. You really sense that they've taken the criteria set out by the Ice Dance Technical Committee with the positive features and done everything they possibly can to push those +4s and +5s. So it's not been a particularly, it hasn't been a high scoring event, there's no doubt about that. But it will definitely be a team that will create a season's best because of the mistakes on the Challenger Series for them. I think what they'll be more interested in knowing is how will they compare with the Skate America scores and the Skate Canada scores. They're joined by the husband and wife, Marie-France and Patrice. And I remember listening to an interview with a couple in the off-season and just acknowledging that they are not holding back from their desire to be considered as competitive with the top 3. It's really challenging when you've got teams that have stayed in the competitive world for so many seasons to break the ranks of what are some preconceived stats and results that will continue on throughout the entire Olympic cycle. And I think they've done all they possibly can in creating material. As the team dissect the performance. So, just a level 2 assigned to both on the diagonal step sequence. I'm sure at their second event it will be likely a level 3. Competing again in ESCO, just 80.98. They maybe don't know how things have been going in the event in regards to scoring. You can see a deduction, that for an extended lift. I think that was something that the team were discussing in the kiss and cry, over 7 seconds for that brilliant straight line lift to start the program. And now to the final team. They have their own personalized banners with the support here as Barbara Fusarpoli, their longtime coach, starts her ever passionate applause for them. Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, the European champions. Skate to the music, holding out for a hero. The fastest rotation within the Twizzles and the best match. Barbara Fischer-Pulley. It's hard to pitch the success of this skate on Barbara's reaction because she's forever joyful, it seems, in reacting to her student performances. She is the kind of coach you want on your support team. Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri round out the ice dance rhythm dance. And they just continue to demonstrate such quality. So much admiration for what this team has achieved and continues to achieve. That's it. They're stepping up now into a whole different echelon as European champions. Finally, after so many years of competitive pursuit, world silver medalists, and this season now, they come in with a different perspective of expectation from the skating fans, and perhaps, I'm sure, from themselves too. How not will the win be, but how close will it be to Piper and Paul from last week, or Madison and Evan from Skate America? See, just a slight flex of the foot from Charlene. Barbara satisfied. This, within the choreo rhythm sequence, such a difficult transition. We've seen it used before for them, but choosing to put it into that element which was judged by creative execution, this was phenomenal. Hitting the accent on the music for the Against All Odds piece by Phil Collins. And I think the only team to both achieve level 3 on this, the midline step sequence. So the base value for their midline comes in at an 8.2. They have added a monstrous 3.4 points to that base value based on the GOE, and the GOE needs these positive features. So things like, do the judges see the element as smooth or effortless? Is the entry or the exit seamless or creative or unexpected? are the body lines and poses of the partners aesthetically pleasing or in character? And that a criteria that I'm sure Barbara and Charlene and Marco will all be able to recite word for word as they pursue becoming world champions this year. So Skate America leading rhythm dance score was 84.87. 86.62. And they have a new season's best. And they're not that far behind the 87.55 of Piper and Paul last week. So huge congratulations to Charlene Guinard, Marco Fabri, and Coach Barbara Fusar-Poli on a job well done to lead the rhythm dance competition comfortably, it has to be said.
Competitions will resume the main short program at 4:38 p.m.
Reprise de la compétition à 16h38 pour les programmes courts de la catégorie messieurs.
And so there, the standings, as I said, throughout the event, not many season's best made, a technical panel that required more from the teams in regards to the pattern dance type step and the non-touch step to secure the higher levels. The skaters' work in the rhythm dance is now done, and we look ahead to the free dance for a whole different change of vibe, more 80s for the second day of competition for the ice dancers in Angers at the Grand Prix de France. So now we find ourselves halfway through this first day of competition in Angers. It's just the men and the pairs events yet to be decided. The Zambonis, 2 Zambonis take to the ice. Bronze medalists last year, Eugenia Lopareva and Geoffrey Brissot. They will be satisfied coming into this event, I'm sure, to find themselves in 3rd place after the rhythm dance, given the standings and world rankings, their expected positioning, worthy of blowing a kiss to the audience. Laurence Fournier, Baudry, and Nikolai Sorensen. Top Gun, the theme for their 1980s rhythm dance, second the position after it. This the straight line left, which caused them a 1-point deduction for being over time. That'll be an easy fix, I'm sure, for the couple when they return to training ahead of their next assignment. They'll compete in Finland at the Grand Prix Espoo in 2 weeks' time. It was Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, the European champions, expected to repeat as winners following last year's triumph. But maybe not predicted to be as highly scoring as they have. They will be delighted to see the reaction from the judges and the technical panels in Angers. They compete again at the NHK Trophy. So as the ice is made good, we ask you to join us again, 4:45 local time, for the men's event.